Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 25 of my early campaign where I'm playing as Egypt. And in the last episode we saw the Mongol Empire really take over the map. I mean, they have been strong this entire campaign, that is, since they have entered into the picture here. But in the last episode we really saw them start to flex their muscle overseas. I mean, they have a strong navy, they have forces here in Algeria, they have taken over the rebels here, and they have taken over Sicily, they have Naples, the Papal States, Rome itself. Now, we are expecting a papal reemergence at some point, but the fact remains that the Mongols do border the Italians, my eternal rival, that is, on 3 provinces. That's Rome, the Papal States, and Croatia as well. And the Italian armies are not strong. So it's an interesting place. It's quite the dilemma for me to be in, because on one hand, I am making almost 6,000 denarii per turn, which is not bad for how many soldiers I have currently fielding, and I have building projects in every single province, and I'm training in most provinces. I have my demi cannons that are being built up. I have my booms, my top tier boats that are being built up here in Cyprus, and I thought somewhere else, yeah, the Antioch is also building booms as well. So I'm going to continue to add to my naval strength just to make sure that I can compete with the Mongols and decisively defeat them if it does come to that. But for now, I am trading with them. You know, they're probably my top trading partner at this point. So it's quite the dilemma. The good news is they aren't competing on the glorious achievements scale, so I don't have to worry about them ever beating me in that way. I just have to worry about them from a military standpoint. Like, if they ever decide to attack me, can I withstand their might? And it's interesting because on one hand, I'm very tempted to sit back and watch and let them take out my enemies, because the French and the Italians are still ahead of me at 100 points for the French and 104 points for the Italians. The French have pretty much recovered from this rebellion. They still don't have Burgundy and Provence, but they still have a decent-sized empire here in Central and Western Europe. The Italians, though, I mean, they're just winning on points just with what they have, which is pretty insane. You know, that you could just have these provinces and they are winning on points currently. That's just bonkers to me. Really wild stuff. I mean, if we look at their armies, it's not strong. It's very low tier stuff when we look at their armies. So the Mongols should defeat them pretty decisively if they continue attacking them, that is. The Mongols seem like they're really split when it comes to their attention. They're not really focused right now. They're kind of taking whatever presents itself, which is fine, I suppose, but yeah, they've taken Denmark and Prussia, Pomerania, not Prussia, but Pomerania. Yeah, they've just gone ape shit on the map. I mean, they're just, look at them, they just have everything. They've gotten rid of the Hungarians, haven't they? Yeah, they have. Yeah, yep. Yeah, interesting. It's one of those situations where in this campaign so far, I have been trying to create reemergences, but I'm starting to wonder, like, should I even do that right now? I mean, Hungary has 197% loyalty, and I do have a Valor 2 spy here. And Carpathia has 192% loyalty as well. And I don't have a spy, but I have an alum there. And what else did Hungary own? Did they have Croatia, I'm imagining, at some point? Yeah, they're pretty well situated. The Mongols don't seem to be really having issues with their population loyalty. And even in these provinces that... I think I would just have a spy in Hungary. Is that the only one? Everyone else has border forts, I imagine. Yeah, you have a border fort. You have a border fort. Okay. Huh. Okay, I wonder if it's worth trying to sneak a Valor 2 spy in one of those provinces. Maybe I can get them past the border forts, and maybe I can create that Hungarian reemergence. But see, here's so the dilemma is this. I was actually encouraged by a viewer in the comment section of my last video to maybe look for these opportunities to actually go after the Mongols. And it was pointed out that I'd missed an opportunity to essentially isolate a vast amount of power. The Mongol military was, they invaded Algeria, and there was a bunch of stacks here. And if I had initiated a naval war, then those stacks would have been stuck here in Algeria. And then there would have been an opportunity to maybe make something happen against the Mongols. Maybe there would have been a civil war. Maybe their leadership would have been separated from the rest of their empire. Therefore, they would start to lose control. Right now, with their Khan being centrally located in a, in a place that's not an island, essentially, it's a mainland area. Therefore, his influence will be felt everywhere. But if he were to ever go to an island somewhere, and if I were to isolate him, then there's an opportunity for his influence to be cut off and maybe create some civil wars, maybe create a Hungarian reemergence. But on the other hand, I am making almost 6,000 florins per turn trading with them, and I feel like, so the year is 1287, and I'm tempted to think that in 100 years, in 100 turns, tops, the Italians will be dealt with. Now, the only thing that can really throw a wrench in that is the papal reemergence, and that is a guaranteed thing. The papal reemergence will happen at some point. I'm kind of surprised it already hasn't happened. Now, would the papacy go to war with the Italians? The papacy in this game can be aggressive. It can. And it can go against Catholic factions. Actually, I don't really know. Okay, I don't know exactly the rules on that. Will it only go after Catholic factions that are excommunicated? Or will it even go after a Catholic faction that has not been excommunicated? I know I've seen, the papacy be pretty aggressive. But does that only happen when they were attacked first by the Catholics? Therefore, I'd imagine that would be an automatic excommunication. And then they go on an aggressive war against that faction? I kind of think that's how that would work. But that would be something that maybe can save the Italians, as it were. Would be a papal reemergence, basically protecting the Italian southern areas. Now, sure, the Mongols can still kind of come in through the east and come in. So that is an opportunity for them. But it's hard to say. The thing is, this French king is old. He is 67 years old. He has 3 influence. And they do still have these 2 crusades that are going to be dissipating at some point. 122 men in this crusade, and then 103 men in this crusade. And when that happens, you have to imagine that the new French king, this one's going to be dying any year now. So you would imagine that that new French king is going to be facing, you would think, another civil war. And then what happens? Another civil war might be the thing that breaks the French. That might be the thing that really makes the Mongols come in and take over Western and Central Europe. I remain just a little bit skeptical just because I've never seen this amount of success from the Mongols. This is the most I've ever seen. A part of me wants to stand back and watch it just to learn more, and see what can happen here. But a part of me understands that the longer that I sit back and wait, then the harder it can be for me to make a move and destroy these rivals, these point rivals in Italy and France. If who knows? If I wait too long, and if the Mongols then decide to start to attack me, or they start to use their navies to disrupt my navies, can I even exert a military influence on the continent if I'm also fighting the Mongols? And that's where it gets a little bit scary, right? But maybe not. Like, so far they've just avoided me. So far, they look at my armies and they go, nope, we don't want to fight that. So they fight against other opponents. And so far that has worked. So it's hard to say what the right move is. I'm tempted for now to continue to watch and see what happens. maybe I don't even have to wait 100 turns. I mean, understand that there's still, what, 143, 153, 56, 156 turns, maybe, left in the campaign. I'm notorious for having bad math, but yeah, something like that. Like, there should be like 156 turns left in this campaign. That's a lot of time. So I don't even have to necessarily wait 100 turns to see. You know, I could wait till maybe the year 1350 and kind of reassess and be like, okay, is it go time? You know, like, now do I need to do this? Now do I need to invade Central Europe, or should I, you know, go after the Mongols? Like, what needs to happen then? So for now, if I can continue to make money instead of lose money, you know, I'm sitting on 353,000 in the bank. That feels very good, but that money can also disappear very fast once I start losing money. So, you know, if I can build that up to being 500,000 or even more before I have to make that decision, that might be a better place to be in. In addition to that, maybe just also continue to build boats. It was suggested that I just keep out pumping out boats here from Rhodes and Crete and Cyprus. And yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, I should probably do that. Get Baglas going in Crete and Rhodes. I can get my booms going here in Cyprus. Is there anything else I want to get here? Unfortunately, the Master Shipbuilder doesn't do anything for the Muslims. Yeah, we just have the 3 boats. The Dial, the Bagla, and the boom. So that's too bad. So is there anything else here that I really want? Gunsmith, I don't know if I need Gunsmith here. And Fortress as well. I don't know if that's really necessary. This would be if I wanted to upgrade my artillery buildings here in the island provinces. And I don't know, maybe it's nice to have as many places that can build those things as possible. Yeah, why not? Why not do that? Let's get a fortress going here in Cyprus. And you guys don't need anything. You're building a citadel. And maybe I should start training some more Nizaris here in Egypt, just so that I can have them. And Sinai should she be training stuff? Maybe some more Mamluk horse archers? Ooh, or some more demi-cannons. No, let's just get the Mamluk horse archers. I got the Valor bonus here in Sinai. So let's do that, and then, yeah, I'm training Hashishin here in Tripoli and Palestine. I'm training my Valor, is it Valor 5 assassins? Yeah, Valor 5 assassins here in Syria, so that feels very good. And yeah, booms in Antioch. Nothing here in Edessa. Nothing feels really good here. I just have low tier stuff here in Edessa. And I'm working on getting that fortress built up here in Edessa, just so that I have a further this defensive bulwark here in my northern provinces. Feels like the right idea. A few turns later, the Germans have finally decided to try to make a move here. They tried to invade Tyrolia. My goodness. Okay, wow. They went after the Italians. I'm surprised they couldn't win that battle. The Italians, as I've said before, did not have good soldier quality. I guess they didn't bring enough soldiers, the Germans that is. And maybe if they had brought more, then maybe they could have won that battle. Yeah, interesting. And the French tried to push into Croatia. That did not work out for them. The Byzantines, oh yeah, the Almohads are going to be retreating from Cordoba. Okay. Oh man, the Mongols are going absolutely apeshit. Oh my goodness, look at this. We have some unrest in Prussia as well. So the Prussian king is going to be kicked out of Prussia. Or the Polish king is going to be kicked out of Prussia. What do we have here? The Everlasting League. Surrounded by greedy enemies and vulnerable in the Empire's constant struggles, the Swiss cantons of Uri, Swiss, and Unterwalden have signed a compact pledging mutual aid against all enemies. Although a small start, the Swiss Confederation can have sharp teeth, the pikes in the hands of its many soldiers. And that does not mean that the Swiss emergence happens. I think that just means it could happen at some point from here on out, perhaps. Perhaps. Let's see, we got ourselves a true believer and approachable manner, but you are not a governor, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, the Byzantines are also starting to, they're trying here. The Byzantines actually like pushed the Mongols back from Hungary. And if they could hang on to this province for one more turn, they'd actually own Hungary, which would be crazy. I can't imagine the Mongols allowing that to happen, but still, that's pretty wild. Yeah, here in Moldavia as well. Yeah, the Byzantines came up and yeah, this little Mongol force here also would last for 5 turns, actually. So that's a little while. Yeah, I can't imagine these Byzantine gains being permanent, but if the Mongols continue to face pressure from the French, then yeah, then maybe, you know, maybe something can happen here. But yeah, this is bad for the Poles, although these are very, very bad soldiers. Yeah, very low tier stuff, but that's might be enough to push this army out. I don't know, this Polish army might be able to retain Prussia, maybe. Or they might lose it. But the Mongols surely probably will be able to take advantage of that situation and might be able to take Prussia off of the Poles. Now my Sultan has just died from illness, but his heir lives and we will now take over the country. And I think he's, I can't quite remember, I think he's the, how old is he? I'm trying to remember. Is he 40? Is he in his 40s? Nazir As-Ali, secret perversion, doesn't really matter. And moral flexibility for one of the peasants there in the garrison of the fortress in Antioch. Again, not a big deal. But where is... Okay, so the new... That's right, you're not great. 3 influence is not great. Sultan As-Ali, the first. Yeah, 2 command, 2 dread, secret pride, so -1 command and +3 valor. So he would be a decent fighter, at least he should be. I've never really understood, I don't know, I feel like the valor never has really made sense to me. It's the number in the top right corner of the profile and of the unit card, that is. And yeah, if it's +3, then why is it not 3? I've never really understood that. Never understood that. Let's move you back to Arabia where you can be safe from any sort of naval invasion. Do you have any sons on the way? You have a brother. Prince Khalil is your brother. And then I think either Prince Muhammad or Prince Aladil is also one of his brothers, but then one of them I think is one of his sons, I think. For his Prince Khalil, this is his brother. This is the one that's actually kind of good. Oh no, he's Drinker. Yeah, okay, so that's not good. Yeah, Drinker's not good. How old are you again? You're 29. Okay, you have plenty of time left. You have plenty of time left. As long as your low influence doesn't really hurt us. I think, so it's going to be interesting. I think the influence is only going to matter for the units that are being trained currently right now. So I should keep an eye on this Khwarezmian cavalry unit when he gets trained up. And who else? Where else am I training stuff? I'm training Hashishin here in Tripoli. And I'm training some siege cannons, or I'm building siege cannons here in Arabia. Yeah, these are the big boys. Yeah, I can finally get these guys going. The siege cannons are status symbols, and all kings want these in their arsenals. Gunnery is a science rather than a matter of luck. Big guns become practical. They won't explode and kill the crew rather than the enemy, as over time gunsmiths become more skilled and gunpowder improves in quality. Yeah, these are the big boys. Very powerful shot. Weapons cause fear. Weapon can't turn. Slow rate of fire and long range artillery. It would be very cool to use these guys in action. Show them off at some point. I would love to do that. I am building some more jihad markers just because at some point I would like to sort of experiment with the idea of reducing the amount of border troops that I have. I would still like to have a core of reserves here in Arabia, but then having a smaller, like basically just one stack for all of the provinces that each border region borders. So like Antioch only borders the Lesser Armenia. So Antioch would have just one stack. Edessa borders Lesser Armenia and Rum, so this would have 2 stacks. Arabia borders Rum and Armenia, so this would have 2 stacks as well. And then down here, Tunisia just borders Algeria, so this would have 1 stack. And then just disband a lot of the extra soldiers, keep a lot of reserves back here in Arabia, and then have a lot of jihad markers so that I can, essentially, if anyone attacks me, and if I were to lose that border region, I could send just an entire mess of jihad markers at that province, and basically just get a bunch of free troops that I'm not paying upkeep for currently right now. You know, I think that would be kind of a fun thing to play around with. And yeah, that's a good thing to do, like if I start to run out of money, right? Because I'm just going to continue to build boats, build and build and build and build. I mean, just keep building boats, right? And yeah, I think that playing around with the jihad markers would be a kind of a fun thing. Also, I think that I can get GA points from that as well, so that would be kind of cool. And my income is down to 2,246, so I'm imagining, so there's some French boats probably around here, so let's sink them. What are you, by the way? Caravel? Okay. And are there any more boats? Or am I just losing money? Or am I just not making as much money? Okay, there we are. That's probably going to be a problem. Let's see. Actually, let's split this up. So you attack, and then you attack. There we go. Oh, okay. What do we have here? The Byzantines, or the Mongols, that is. I think they got rid of the French Crusade. I don't know. Yeah, wow. Okay, so the French Crusade. Is this a civil war up here in Bohemia? So yeah, okay, so yeah, the French are dealing with a civil war. Yeah. Is this still the same? He's 74 years old. Oh my god, he's still alive. Oh man. Well, he is going to be dying. I said this before. How old is he going to be? Okay, so the French are going to be losing Franconia outright. They already had lost Burgundy. They're going to be keeping Toulouse, I imagine. And the Mongols have invaded Normandy. Okay. What else? It looks like they might lose Friesland. I don't know. That's kind of a weird fight. And then what about Bavaria? Looks like the French might keep Bavaria. And what about here in Silesia? This is going to be an equal fight, perhaps? Yeah, that might be an equal fight. I don't know what's going to happen there. And the Poles as well. Yeah, okay. So the Poles, I mean, the French had moved into Poland. The Poles have been pushed back here to Lithuania, so they are still they're in the fight. They still exist, but yeah, they're being pushed back right now. Prussia still belongs to the rebels as well. And the Byzantines barely exist. They have Wallachia and they have Lesser Armenia. Their entire royal family is here in Lesser Armenia. I don't think they have any heirs here in Wallachia. No, none that I'm seeing. So if they lose Lesser Armenia, that's going to be it for the Byzantines. Man, okay. So that should be dealing a major blow to the French. Oh, up here in Wessex as well, the French, very small rebellion. They'll be able to keep Wessex as well. Huh, okay, well, yeah, that should knock the French back a bit in points. I might be able to start to catch up on them. But then it's a matter of the Italians. Like, what about the Italians? When is their time going to come? Oh yeah, and the Almohads have been pushed back as well. They still own Granada, but they're losing Morocco. Yeah, they're losing Morocco here. Man, there's a lot of Mongol forces here, and this could be one of the situations where I maybe could cut off the Khan. Well, not necessarily. Morocco can get into Cordoba, so that is, yeah, he wouldn't be entirely cut off. But I mean, this section of Mongol troops would be cut off if I were to initiate a naval war. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'm losing money. I'm losing money. I mean, I guess that's a big one. Having that one Byzantine boat there is making me lose a lot of money. There's no other boats, right? Yeah, it's literally just that one Dromon that's cutting off the port of Antioch. So that's making very little money now. It's making only 1,500, and I think that it makes like what, close to 10,000 maybe at the stage of where it's at right now, perhaps. And that is going to be it for the Almohads. Yeah, their Khalifa has been captured and executed, and yeah, they are done for. A traveler returned. So Marco Polo's tales of his travels across the world to the court of the great Mongol Khan and far Cathay would amaze any who heard them. The wealth and power of his imagination confounds belief, but the spices and silks he brings are more than welcome as trade goods. There are new goods for trade in Tripoli and Syria. And this is where building up those master merchants in Syria and Tripoli do pay off. Especially, like, you would think that Arabia, like, why Arabia? Because, wait, was it Arabia? No, it's Syria, right? And, yeah, making 85, I don't know what it was, I didn't check what it was making before, but 85 seems like it's a good amount. And what about Tripoli? So Tripoli is now making 8,600, and now Antioch, without that Byzantine boat blockading our port, is making 8,200, no shit. So Antioch's making less than Tripoli, no shit, wow. Wow, go Marco Polo, man, that's awesome. So what are we looking at right now? Looking at 6,000? 6,000. All right, yeah, that's good. I think that, I mean, the Mongols taking territories that had belonged to my enemies, the French, the Byzantines. They haven't taken any Italian territories yet, but yeah, taking territories that I wasn't trading with because they belonged to enemies of mine. It is really helping my economy out. It's helping me stay afloat. Oh no, the Byzantines. They've been invaded here in Lesser Armenia. It's funny because this message is telling us that the Byzantines are the happiest people. They have the most content commoners. Well, yeah, I don't know about that. They are going to be going bye-bye. The King of Aragon has died from an illness. Yeah, the Aragonese still exist, don't they? Yeah. The Holy Roman Emperor has died from an illness as well, but he still exists as well. And the King of France finally died. My God, was he like 80 years old? My goodness. Man, everyone's dying. Okay, King of England has died as well. And alright, little Inquisition action here. Still building up my defenses here in Tunisia. Cannon Foundry finished here in Tripoli. College of Surgeons finished here in Egypt. Again, I don't think that does anything. I don't think that just allows me to build another building, I think. And strange. Abdullah Abu Badis. I don't think that matters. You are not a governor. I don't think. I don't think so. All right. What was I just going to look at? I was going to look at something. Oh yeah, the College of Surgeons. Is that... gives home to part of the medical profession and helps by spreading new knowledge and good practice to mitigate the effects of disease. Yeah, this doesn't do anything, does it? It just allows me to build... Does it? It doesn't do anything at all, does it? Or am I getting that wrong? Does it grant a title? There's no title here. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing here. Yeah, it's it's, oh dear. It might grant a happiness bonus. It might. I'm not 100% on that. Now my ruler's wife has given birth to a son, so that is good news. Because I think that I have, so yeah, Prince Adil, yeah, I got some guys coming up here. I think, again, as I said, either Prince Al-Adil or Prince Mohammed. I think one of those is my son and the other is my brother, I think. Let's see, what else? Thought I saw something. I thought something caught my eye. Oh yeah, the Danish king died. That's right. The Danes for a moment there had taken Denmark back, but then there's a loyalist rebellion for the Mongols, unfortunately, so that pushed them back out. Oh, the poor Danes. They've been having it rough in this campaign. Yes, they have. Oh yeah, and I do want to take a peek at the new French king as well. Where are you? There you are. 3 influence, 0 stars, 3 acumen, so nothing too fancy there. Yeah, I wonder how many heirs do the French have? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Because I wanna know, like, how close are they to dying? Even though they have like a decent sized empire still. They might, you know, if they lose all of their family, of course, that's going to be it for them. I'm not seeing any family, but I don't know. Actually, there's an easy way to find out. If I just take one of my assassins, let's see, you got a 5-star assassin here, and yeah, this leader has no heir. 76% chance. Oh god, I kind of want to do that. Huh. I'm very tempted. And there's no border fort here in Toulouse as well. Oh gosh. Yeah, that would be getting rid of a primary rival. And the Italians are still like making decent points, but I am making more than them, so I might catch up over time. The thing is that if I kill the French king, and you know, as I keep saying, there is still a lot of time left in this campaign, and if there's nothing standing in the way of the Mongols, like at least the French are kind of keeping the Mongols busy for now. So they, you know, if they want to turn their attention to me, it's going to have to wait until the French are dealt with. And then if I just kind of deal with the French for the Mongols, then like, yeah, maybe they might turn their attention towards me a bit sooner. So, yeah, I don't know if I should be killing off the French king just because, yeah, I don't know. How far behind am I? I'm 17 points behind, and so he's making 10 points per counting period. I'm making 15, 16, 17 points per counting period. So I would be making up 7 points per counting period. So I could make that up in 2 counting periods. So that would be the year 1300 and then 1321. So just based on like what we're looking at right now, by the year 1321, I should outpace them, I think. And then the Italians, so they have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would be gaining 5 points per counting period on them. And that would take a little bit longer. So that would take me to, what, 1375 maybe, perhaps, to gain on them? I think that, yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna outpace them, you know? So I guess they are no longer really the major threat. You know, looking at it that way, I will outpace them. I will eventually get more points than them before the end of the campaign. So maybe based on that information, I should start to actually really start to consider the Mongols the greater threat. Gosh, it's tough. I'm making almost 10,000 per turn though. Oh God, that feels good. That feels good. Yeah. So based on that information, how did the Byzantine king get away? I did not think that they had family members up here in Wallachia. Huh. I wonder if they were like captured and then they ransomed back their guys and they end up in Wallachia. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh my goodness. They could have gotten rid of the Byzantines, but they just were able to ransom their guys back. How could they afford that? My God. They've just been like in the dumps forever, and they could somehow afford to ransom back not just their emperor, but also like two of the other heirs, two other family members, and whatever soldiers were captured as well. My goodness, how did they do that? Huh. Well, if I'm going to consider the Mongols from this point on to be the, enemy number one, right? Then I suppose I should start to really keep an eye on this Mongol leader. And if there's a point where he can potentially be isolated from the rest of his empire, then maybe I should initiate that naval war and separate him from the rest of his empire and hope that there can be a Mongol civil war. Something else that I can start doing is I could start pumping out spies and putting Valor 2 spies into every single Mongol-owned province that does not have any border forts in it. So yeah, that's an option as well. Yeah, I got some Valor 3 spies, Valor 2, Valor 1. Let's see, you're the one that can train spy. What's your thing? You can train Valor 1 spies. So I never did build the bounty house here in Syria. Do I have the bounty house anywhere else? No, not here, not here. Yeah, I might want to build another one of those so that I can get those Valor 2 spies from somewhere else. Oh, now the Spanish want to get involved, eh? Yeah, you know what, guys? I don't see the point. I don't see the point. Yeah, because I just saw them attack Cordoba, belonging to the Mongols, and I don't think that went well for them. What do we have here? Any governors? Any starred generals? This doesn't look like it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter then. Yeah, the Spanish, finally, man, they finally did something. And I would say, guys, it's too late. If you wanted to, matter or have any say in this campaign, you probably should have did something a long, long, long time ago. Their king just did die to an illness, that is. And yes, now they have a 5 influence new king. That doesn't seem fair. You shouldn't get 5 influence when you've done nothing the entire campaign. Okay, you took Portugal. La-di-da. And the Mongols have taken Flanders. Ooh, man. Ooh. Yeah, so I started putting some spies out just to see if I can start to cause some issues here. Well, let's see, there's no... okay, there's a border fort here in Moldavia. I thought there wasn't. Hungary, that's where I can go. So go to Hungary. And then up here in Pomerania. Oh, they must have just built that border fort in Pomerania. You got through. Interesting. Valor Zero Spy got through a border fort. Ooh. That is super interesting because I had been testing that, and when I was doing one spy at a time, they were all getting caught. But I had just put 2 spies into Pomerania during that last intern, and one of them was caught and one of them made it through. So I wonder if that's a viable option, is by like flooding provinces with multiple spies, and that way they can sort of catch some of them, but not all of them. Huh, I guess I never really thought of it that way. Yeah, I don't know. My goal was to get down to Kiev, was it? Or Chernigov? Yeah, Chernigov. There's no border fort here. But to get there, I need to go through Prussia, and then Lithuania, and then into Chernigov. Here we are. We have just scored our homelands points. We just scored 15 of those. And yeah, that is not counting the 2 points that we did just score for conquest as well. And the Byzantines. Oh man, they're still here, you know, it's funny. And they're still scoring 1 point for conquest, even though they don't even own 4 provinces. Oh, they do. Oh my god, they do. That's just so funny. Oh, they just like captured 3 provinces in 1 turn. That's amazing. That's really something. Oh, those Byzantines. I hope that 1 point was worth it, guys. So yeah, again, I'm not too worried about the Byzantines. The French I should be catching up on, so they're making 8, 9, 10, 11 points. And yeah, I'm making a bit more than that. And the Italians are making 8, 10, 12 points. So yeah, I should catch up on all of the factions that are ahead of me. And yeah, you know what? I don't want to eliminate them because they are distracting the Mongols for now. And I'm making 10 grand per turn. So, and that's with like building boats. I'm building booms here from Cyprus and Antioch, and building baglas wherever I can. I am building some jihad markers still, and I'm still building buildings in every single province, I think. So yeah, despite all of those building projects, I'm still making 10 grand per turn, and that feels pretty good for this stage of the campaign. And if there ever is going to be a showdown between myself and the Mongols, oh my, that is going to be epic. I look forward to that. That could be fun. Me against this, like, that, oh my goodness. That could be really something. Now, one of my heirs has matured, Prince Al-Adil. I'm curious to see, are you going to be good or are you going to be bad? Oh yeah, two heirs matured. That's right, Prince Muhammad and Prince Al-Adil. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, we got a few traits here. So Prince Al-Adil is a drinker. Boo! -1 command. That's not good. Great warrior. So +5 health. So there's that. And then Prince Muhammad, secret adulterer. So that's not going to matter until it's found out. And then he's going to lose some piety. And then killer instinct. So +2 valor and then +1 dread. How is their loyal? Ooh, damn. 2 loyalty on him. 2-star general, 1 dread, 1 acumen, and then one loyalty. Oh god, 1 star, 2 dread, and then it's his 4 influence is not great either. Damn. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. And I don't actually know which is which. I don't know. Oh, Prince Al-Adil, yeah, it tells us right there. So he is going to be the next in line. Okay. So which one is that, Prince? That's going to be the 1 loyalty guy. Oh, God. 2 piety, 2 dread, 1 command. Yeah, he's a drinker, so that's going to get worse, too, over time. That is not good. Okay, what do we have for GA points? Is that changed? Yeah, Cairo, yeah. So this is a new one. And so we've already scored this. So more buildings in Egypt than in any other province. And yeah, we've already scored that. Go us. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, just like that. We got it. We won. So how does that put us up? So that's not being scored quite yet. That gets scored in 1321. Okay. So in 20 years, we will get those 4 points, and that will bring us ever closer. So the city of Cairo, has transformed in recent years from a royal enclave to an imperial metropolis. As the hub of Egyptian power, it can become the greatest city in the known world. Points are counted only once between 1321 and 1453. The Egyptians must attain more buildings in Egypt than in any other province. Okay. Well, that's cool. But I think all of this remains the same. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we already own all of these provinces, so there is that. And yeah, that's this. So nothing else has really changed there, but what about the... Is anything changed for you guys? Yeah, the French are losing stuff. And the Italians, yeah, they still have all of their homelands except for Crete, which they never owned, because I own it. But I want to keep an eye on that Mongol king, that Khan. Where is he? I need to keep an eye on him, because yeah, even though I am being very passive right now, still, if he ever does isolate himself, like on Ireland, for instance, like these guys can never leave. It's kind of hilarious because they would have to build a port. And I mean, why don't they do? I don't know why does the AI do that? They invade Ireland and then never build a port, and then they just have their armies that invaded Ireland always be there forever. It's just really silly. Very, very silly. Yeah, I just can't find this Mongol Khan. He is an elusive bugger. Now, here in Cyrenacia, I was going to bring back all of my Saharan cavalry so that they can get retrained. I finally have all of the buildings that I want to have the most high-tech Saharan cav that you can get. The Master Horse Breeder for that +1 Valor, the Mosque for the +1 Morale, the Ribbit for the +2 Morale. And I was thinking that I'm all set, right? With the Valor bonus from Cyrenacia itself, I'm all set. But then I was thinking, you know what about some armor for these Saharan cavalry? Because I know, obviously, I don't want to have them be too slow down because they are, supposed to be swift, light cav for fighting in the desert. But I looked it up again. I had to remind myself, what is the amount of armor that cavalry can have before they fatigue too quickly in the desert? And that number is a number value of 5. Saharan cavalry have an armor value of 2. So that means that I can get 3 armor upgrades here in Cyrenacia before those Saharan cav would get too bogged down. So how would I do that? How about I need to get a town watch first and then a spearmaker, and then that allows me to build an armor, I believe. So let's send these guys back to their respective provinces. And yeah, once I have those armors all built up, I can get those guys retrained and get some really good Saharan cavalry. And it's worth me taking a look at that for all of my other units, because I'm going to be, looking at a situation where I might be facing off against, a very powerful faction, right? So making sure that all of my units have the highest valor upgrades that they can get, the highest armor upgrades that they can get. Unfortunately, I don't have any access to metalsmiths, so I can't get any weapon upgrades or attack upgrades, but I can get armor and valor and morale is going to be the main ones. And that's going to be something that I'm going to have to focus on. Probably more so in the next episode, I think. I think here I'm going to be more or less wrapping this one up, I think. But I should take a look at this because, for instance, like a lot of these, see, what makes this complicated is that a lot of these factions don't just train one unit, right? Like, look at this. Sinai specializes in Mamluk horse archers, sure, but it can train a lot of other stuff. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm building up my armor upgrades for Sinai. And then there's other units like the Khwarezmian Cavalry. even the base level armor for the Khwarezmian cavalry, I think, is going to be too high. Let me double check that actually. Yeah, so the armor level of the Khwarezmian cavalry is going to be a 7. So that's already too high, which means that even without armor upgrades, you don't want them in the desert. So therefore, I would feel okay giving them the full armor upgrades, you know, bringing them up to a +4, bringing them up to 11 armor, you know, with the full upgrades. That would be cool. Now, obviously not for fighting in the deserts, no, but fighting in the provinces that, as we've already established, yes, Edessa and Antioch are officially rock deserts, but if they're being attacked from Rum, it's going to be arid ground. If it's going to be from Lesser Armenia, it's going to be arid ground, and Lesser Armenia into Antioch is also arid ground. So that means that Khwarezmian cavalry with their full upgraded armor can be useful in these two provinces. Now, probably not Syria. Yeah, that's going to be sand desert, and that's going to be sand desert. And then probably not in Tunisia as well. Yeah, they would be fighting in a rock desert. Even though Algeria is arid. But yeah, if they cross on over Tunisia, they will be fighting in a rock desert. And yeah, that's not going to be good for the fatigue of those Khwarezmian cavalry. But still, like, it's worth considering, right? Do I want to get armor upgrades? Maybe not in Palestine, but I can also train Khwarezmian cavalry here in Cyprus. Should I do that then? Because there's less troop options here. But Cyprus is one of my only provinces that can train booms currently. Although I'm working on getting that going here in Rhodes and Crete. Eventually, they will also be able to train booms. But yeah, getting those armor buildings here in Cyprus so that I can retrain my Khwarezmian cavalry seems like that might be a good idea. Also, thinking about that in regards to my Saracen infantry as well. You know, how much armor do I want to give them? My Abyssinian guards are so lightly armored that they might be able to get all 4 armor upgrades, maybe. And then the Arab infantry as well, maybe as well. I'm not sure. Desert archers are very lightly armored, so they can get some upgrades as well. Hashishin can probably get some armor upgrades, you know. Ghulam cavalry can probably get some armor upgrades. Mamluk calves. So yeah, this is something that I've sort of been avoiding just because I'm in a freaking desert here, right? But that doesn't mean that I should totally ignore this. It's just a little bit tedious just because obviously there's no stats in game. I need to look all of this up on the Wikipedia and then sort of do the math in my head, and then I need to sort of think about you know, what units do I want to be fighting and defending in each province. So that's going to be sort of my homework going on into the next episode. But you know what? That is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Concept playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.